What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how you're able to pass variables to your Voiceflow chatbot when it launches on the website. So here I have a Voiceflow chatbot app. So let's say I just quickly have a text message rendered into the chatbot. So let's say, hey, what's up? Exclamation marks there. Then if you just run this quickly, it's nothing fancy. Hey, what's up? So nothing fancy. Let me just quickly publish this because I have it deployed to a local website on my computer on localhost port 3000. So there it is, successfully published. So if you come here, have it up and running here. So if I reload that, you see the chat bubble appears down here. When I start a new chat, it just says, hey, what's up? Okay. So we have the HTML here that's rendering the actual chatbot, and this is a function that does that. Okay, so you see window.voiceflow.chat.load. Okay, then you pass in your project ID over here, which you're able to get in your Voiceflow settings over here. So let me go back to my settings, then you copy over here and paste it in your HTML. So yeah, the point of this video is to show you how we can pass variables to Voiceflow. So in my Voiceflow here, what I can do is just delete this and have a JavaScript step. So I'll put in a JavaScript step. And what it does is it checks if there's a last event. So this is a default variable on Voiceflow that checks the last event that's just been done. Then if there's a last event, do something else. So I have a variable I've already created called user, and if you can see here it is. So user, if there's no last event, means we're not able to pick up the user. We're trying to pick up the user when the Voiceflow chatbot launches. Okay, so this will just say no user found. Okay, but if there's a user found, we can be able to access it through the last event. Okay, and what is this last event? So we'll go back to our HTML and show you how we're able to do this. So here, when you're launching the Voiceflow chatbot, just underneath the version ID, there's a new property you can be able to use. It's called launch. Okay, and in this property is where you can be able to pass in different payloads. Okay, so launch a certain event. Okay, so an event, and since it's an event, it has a type and a payload. Okay, so a type of something and a payload. Okay, so the type of event, most often you'll use it as launch. So the type of event is launch, and the payload, you can pass in some payload. So in this case, let's say the username is Mutiso Mwadhime, which is my name. So this payload is what will be passed in the last event. So this is the last event payload. So with that being said, we can go back to our Voiceflow, and here user is equal to last event dot payload dot username. Okay, I can actually type. So with that being said, we can just publish. Successfully published. Go back to our localhost here, then let's just reload that and start a new chat. Okay, start a new chat. Oh, okay, we haven't printed anything into it, so let's just quickly do that. So send a text message, hey, then we put in the user. Okay, so the user that's been captured on launch. So in any case, if it's a success or failure, let's just pass it on. And yeah, let's just publish that. Successfully published. Let's go back to Voiceflow. The local host. So let's launch it. Start a new chat. There you go. Hey, Mutiso Mwadhime. So you see, you're able to pass in variables when the chatbot is launched. And this is quite powerful because you can imagine this seems basic, but you can pass in more items into the payload. For example, so go back here to your index.html. You can add in the username, let's say the current page. So let's say current page, this is home page, and you can do different things based on the page that they are on. You can even say something like the email is, okay. So you can pass in whatever variables you need, and you can be able to capture them back in your voice flow. So let's quickly do that. So here in my voice flow, I'll just capture it. Let me just create a variable called payload. New variable, payload. Let's call it launch payload, okay. So with that being said, create that variable, go back to the workflow. Then here, let me just quickly disconnect these ones. So the JavaScript here, we can capture if the last event, also the payload. So the payload is equals to the last event dot payload. So you can capture the entire payload there. Then we can stringify it. So because we want to print it out here, so can quickly, let's just put in a JavaScript that stringifies the payload. So payload is equals to then with that being said, you can say hey user, and here's the payload, okay. Here is the payload, okay, the launch payload. Oh, forgot, here in the JavaScript it's meant to be launch payload. So launch payload equals JSON.stringify launch payload, and the first JavaScript here, serve that the same. So launch payload is equals to last event.payload. So with that being said, you can just forward the flow back to there. Then we can publish that. Successfully published. Let's go back to localhost. So start a new chat. Then you see there, hey Mutiso Mwadime, here's the payload. So you can see there the Mutiso current page, the email, all that. And the good thing is, back in your voice flow, you're able to access those variables, save them into your chatbot, and you can be able to use it wherever in the flow. So it's quite powerful, and it still takes time. Stay servy. Peace.